Hi, welcome to Visual Basic project number 9. In this project, we're going to be creating a simple calculator. This is the layout right here, as you see it. So you're going to have three text boxes. This is text box 1, text box 2, and then text box 3 at the bottom. So this is for number 1 and then number 2, and then this will be the calculate box, where when you hit calculate, the numbers will be added or subtracted or multiplied or divided together, and the number will be displayed there. This label 1 here is going to be hidden most of the time, but I only left label 1 showing there just to show you that there is a label there. So please place label 1 there. These 6 buttons below are going to basically do what's described on top of them. So this one's going to be the multiple or the addition button. This will be subtraction. And we've changed the text to indicate plus, minus. This is just an X for multiplication on the text caption, and this is a forward slash that symbolizes division. Clear will clear all three text boxes, and calculate will basically do whatever you want to do. If you want to add, it'll submit that button here. So let's get going, and let's start learning how to program this. A couple of things I've done is I've made the fonts a little bit larger on the buttons, and feel free to change those font settings up so they actually appear, the calculator appears to be more visually appealing. Okay. So first thing we did was we actually added a text box 1, 2, and 3. But what we're going to do is when we hit calculate, what it's going to do is it's going to take this number, and then whatever is showing here, it's actually going to refer to label 1. So this label is very important to set up. So the way we're going to set this up is first go ahead into your addition button, and I'll show you. I'm just going to double click. This is the code I've written. Changes label 1 to plus for addition. So basically when you click that button, it should go label1.text equals plus. And so that means when I click on this, so let's hit play here. Let's test this out. So here's our actual program. So when I hit, let's go 20, and I'll select plus sign, and let's subtract it by 10. And I hit calculate. Oh, sorry, added by 10. 20 plus 10 is 30. And now I'll hit clear. And now it cleared all those buttons. Now I should have cleared this as well, so I can change that clear code as well later. So that's what we're doing here. And I'm going to show you all the code. Most of the code's in the calculate button. So let's quickly close this down here. So when I go into this subtraction button, subtraction will changes label 1 to minus for subtraction. Label 1.text equals, in quotation marks, the symbol that I want to portray. And then the multiplication button will be label1.text equals, and this is the uppercase X I've used. You can use lowercase. And here, sorry. I'm getting a little error or warning. Okay. And this is division. So those are basically going to, when I click this, it will change this label. And they're not really doing any calculations. They're just displaying what I want to work. So here's how the calculate button will work. So if I calculate, and I'm going to do this from scratch, I've added an else if statement. So first I've actually, I don't know if you guys realize I'm using A and B instead of text box 1 and text box 2 to simplify things, but I've had to define that as an integer. So I'm actually just going to stop this from running, and I'm going to delete everything here and do it from scratch, because this is the key thing here. So in the calculate button, it's going to refer to text box 1 and the label, whatever it says here, and text box 2, and then display it in text box 3. So this is how we're going to write it. So command button, first we're going to use something that we haven't done yet. We're going to define an integer. So in most programming languages, when you want to define a variable or an integer, you actually have to write it. So in Visual Basic, you write it this way. Dim a as integer. So dim a space as integer. Okay, and then we're going to go dim b as integer. Okay, and now we got to just say what a will. So a will equal text box 1 dot text, and B will equal text box. This will make the coding a little bit easier. We won't have to type text box 1 and 2 out the long way. We're just going to say A will be text box 1 and B will be text box 2 dot text. So now we can actually start typing it in. So we've defined those. So we set up those as integers, A and B, and A is equal to that. So let's start writing our statement here. So first of all, we're going to write an if statement. So if text box, or sorry, if label 1 dot text equals, in quotations, plus sign, then text box 3, which is the calculate, right underneath the calculate button, dot text equals A plus B. Okay, so that's our first statement. Now we go to the other 3 buttons. So we're going to do those as else if statements. Else if label 1, so if label 1 dot text equals minus, then text box 3 dot text equals A minus B. Okay, enter. Let's do another else if. Else if, so if that's not selected, let's say if label 1 dot text equals uppercase X for multiplication, that's what I'm using. You can be using a lowercase x, so just make sure you keep that consistent. Then text box 3 dot text equals A, and multiplication is the star, A times B. Okay, else if, and this is our last one, this is the division. Else if label 1, so now if label 1 dot text equals forward slash, so quotation forward slash, close quotation, then text box 3 dot text will equal A divided by, or forward slash, B. And then you end with an end if. So there you have it. There's our if statement. Now, let's write our comments in here as well. A and B will be set up as integers. Okay. A and B equal the following. Okay, and here's our if statements. Else if statement for calculating results for text box 3. Okay, so that's the basic formula there, and let's quickly test this out. Let's also do the clear button here as well, so double click the clear button. Now we're going to clear out text box 1 dot text equals quotation, and then you leave a space, end quotation. Text box 2 dot text, you want to make it clear, so you just leave a blank space, and it will blank those to clear everything. But we also want to clear the label. So label 1, we don't want a multiplication or a division sign still there. So label 1 dot text equals, and then we'll just leave this blank as well, just like that. And just simple, text box 1 equals this. You don't have to write any if statements here, just very simple. Now, this will clear text box 1, text box 2, text, sorry, I didn't write box, text box 3, text box 4, text box 4, and label 1. So there you have it. Let's just fix this up. I wrote that incorrectly. And now let's quickly give it a test. One thing I want to do is just for the sake of, I don't need to show you this anymore. I know exactly what it was, so I'm going to hide this now. I'm going to just get rid of the label. I don't think that really looks nice, so I'm going to just leave this blank. That was just for you to see that there's a text in there, that there is a label there. But now you won't see it, but it's still there. So let's hit play. Let's see if this works. So let's write in a number here. Let's go 100 times, let's times it by 4. And hit calculate, and there we have it. Down here it says 400. Let's clear it, and then all 4 things will clear. The 3 text boxes and the label will go to blank, which they do. Let's go in and type in the following. Let's do one more test. Let's go to division. Let's go 10 divided by 2. Calculate, which it should equal 5. That's perfect. Hit clear. One more thing you might want to do on your own. Please, if you see here, the numbers are left aligned, so maybe you might want to center align those. Also, if you don't click, I'm going to hit clear here. If I hit 12 and I press 3 and I hit calculate, nothing happens. So a message box, make sure you trigger, try to, for an extra, to make this a little bit more difficult, see if you can trigger a message box to pop up to let the user know that they haven't placed a label in there. That's a little bit of a challenge. I think most of you could do this on your own. So message boxes were covered in project 8. So please try that on your own. So again, if somebody doesn't select a multiplication, subtraction, division, or addition, and hits calculate, it should pop up with a message box. So you might want to add a message box that checks to see if that situation is true. So you might want to add another else if statement. Okay, else if label1.text equals, let's say if it equals blank, then message box will pop up saying, please select an operator. Okay. Well, good luck with that. Make sure you place all your comments. Make sure you do it all properly. Here's the code for buttons, all the buttons. Here's the calculate button, which is the main button. Remember, we're referring to the labels. Label is part of the calculate code. So this is label 1. And you should be able to do this on your own. Good luck. Take care.